गुड मॉर्निंग टू ऑल। और आज की इस कॉन्फ्रेंस का मैं आगाज करता हूं शुरुआत का कि आज से ये हमारी जो आज की कॉन्फ्रेंस की शुरू हो रही है। आज का सब्जेक्ट बता दो दोस्तों, आज का हमारा विषय है इनकम टैक्स। आयकर आयकर बड़ी महत्वपूर्ण चीज होती है और आयकर में हम आज बात करेंगे विवाद से विश्वास स्कीम। बड़ा चर्चा में आपने सुना होगा, लेकिन इस बारे में क्या है, विवाद क्या है और विश्वास क्या है और ये स्कीम क्या है, किस तरह से डीप तक नॉलेज देने के लिए, इसको तकनीकी बताने के लिए हमारे कीनोट स्पीकर हमारे साथ जुड़ चुके हैं। सीए ऋषभ जैन बताएंगे इस बारे में। इसको सपोर्ट करने के लिए सीए विशाल गाला हमारे साथ मौजूद है, एडवाइजर है महासेवा के। सीए विशाल गाला जी को वो इसकी शुरुआत करें और हमारे जो ऋषभ जैन है इनके बारे में बताएं। सीए विशाल गाला, प्लीज वेलकम।
Thank you, Sunil ji. I welcome everyone in today's session, which is on Vivad Se Vishwas scheme. And today we have with us CA Rishabh Jain. CA Rishabh Jain is a practicing CA and a partner at Motilal and Associates. He has diverse experience in field of direct tax and audits. He has received certification of INDES and FAFD from ICAI. He has worked across multiple sectors in different roles over the period of time. With this introduction, I request CA Rishabh Jain to start with the presentation.
Thank you for joining us today. Session today is, as introduced, focused upon the Vivad Se Vishwas scheme that has been there. So in the Vivad Se Vishwas scheme, this is just to give people an introduction. What we always do is, before finding out how a law is, we try to understand the intent of the law. So the intent of the law in this case is very clear, that they launched an indirect tax resolution scheme, which was Sabka Vishwas scheme that was launched last year. And it was found to be a very successful advent, where everyone could, pay a certain amount and get due of their very old and very heavy litigations that were pending. So उन्होंने यही सोचकर they have gotten something in direct taxes now, in income tax, and as the title suggests, they want to move from Vivad to Vishwas. So I will start with the presentation. So good morning, everyone. Starting with the scheme, it is called Vivad Se Vishwas. These are the broad topics that we are planning to cover today, and we'll take through every topic as it comes. In line with Sabka Vishwas scheme, Sabka Vishwas was an outstanding scheme that settled more than 1,89,000 cases. Currently, in various appellate forums, in various appeals, there are more than 4,83,000 cases that are pending. So this scheme is looking to target that and try to resolve it in an amicable manner. Under the proposed scheme, a taxpayer would be required to pay only the amount of disputed tax. So as you are all aware, that there is a high amount of penalty and interest that gets accumulated over outstanding and disputed taxes over a period of time. Litigations generally take years to solve, and then the penalty and interest keeps on accumulating. So this is a point that they want to waive that interest and penalty, and they just want you to pay the disputed taxes. We will get into the detailed calculations later, and we'll determine what amount is payable by each person depending upon the cases that are there. The important point is that taxpayers in whose cases appeals are pending at any level, the word appeals is very important. So there is a high amount of stress also, especially on businessmen who wish to focus on their business and do not wish to get into litigations that much. And it saves a lot of time, because for every businessman to get down into litigations, to discuss with consultants, to then probably appear in front of respective authorities, it takes a very long time, it takes a lot of energy. So these are the basic objectives that this scheme is looking to address. Just taking you fast through a chronology, the bill was introduced in the parliament on 5th February 2020. As a normal bill is proposed, there were representations received. Accordingly, certain clauses of the bill had been proposed to be amended. Currently, the act has been passed in the parliament. So initially, before COVID, the last date of the scheme was 31st March 2020, and there was another date that was given through which you could pay 10% or applicable extra taxes, and you can get done through the scheme. But due to COVID, it was then pushed to 30th June 2020. And when the finance minister announced the package of 20 lakhs crore, one of the announcements was that this scheme will be further amended to 31st December 2020. The eligibility, So who at this moment is eligible for this scheme is something that is very important. So any appeal, writ petition, SLP, arbitration before any appellate authority which was filed on or before 31st Jan 2020 against disputed taxes. Any disputed taxes, it can be TDS, TCS, tax on enhancement notice, it can be interest, penalty, or fees, or any levy. Such cases, if disputed tax in a year is more than rupees 5 crores, so any search case where a disputed tax amount is more than 5 crores is not eligible to be taken under this scheme. There are cases where prosecution has been initiated, and under the Income Tax Act or under the IPC, those cases are also excluded, especially cases involving undisclosed foreign income or assets. These cases have also been specifically excluded. Proceedings pending before authority of advance ruling is excluded from these. Cases completed on the basis of information received from foreign jurisdictions, cases where person is notified under special codes or detained under conservation of foreign exchange and prevention of smuggling activities are excluded from this, and cases covered under various other laws such as the narcotic drugs and psychotropic substances, unlawful activities, prevention of corruption. So basically any offense that the government considers to be a serious offense are cases where people are not given the leeway to settle the scheme on an amnesty basis, and they have been excluded by the government. And this is basically to enhance or help businessmen who have concerns or who have disputed amounts, but they are not very serious in nature. So benefits of this scheme is, as I've told you before, there is no requirement of payment of interest and penalty levied on the disputed taxes. You are aware there are many cases where the interest and penalty amount at times exceeds the actual disputed tax also. So those are cases that are completely excluded from, those are cases which will completely benefit because your interest and penalty has been waived off. When you have filed the declaration and when you have fulfilled conditions, all appeals, writ petitions, SLPs, arbitrations have to be withdrawn, both by the taxpayer and by the department. So we will read this up when we come across with the procedure of how to apply for the scheme. Added after the bill was proposed is that if there is a case where you have made an excess payment before filing the declaration, you will have refund issued to you without interest. So in cases where you have already filed the disputed tax, but you are still taking up in appeals or any appellate forum, in those cases, refund will be granted to you. However, that refund will be without any interest that is applicable. There may be cases where there are qualifying tax arrears and non-qualifying tax arrears. As we saw, if there is a case where there is an qualifying arrear and a non-qualifying arrear, such as undisclosed foreign income or asset. So the question is that eligible for Vivad Se Vishwas? So the CBDT has clarified that you cannot take any amount of dispute or any amount of appeal and you cannot bifurcate it into different parts. And that is why if any part of your dispute is a non-qualifying tax arrear, then you cannot settle the dispute under Vivad Se Vishwas. Clarifications: how much time shall be available for paying taxes after filing a declaration? So the CBDT has clarified that you will get 15 days from the time that a declaration has been filed to pay these taxes. And where tax is determined by the designated authority is not acceptable. If a designated authority determines a certain amount of tax under this scheme, and for example, if that is not acceptable to you, can you file an appeal against this in probably ITAT, High Court or Supreme Court? The answer is expressly no. The procedure is, to be very honest, they have very simplified it. It is not something where you have to put in a lot of time. You have to put in a lot of time to understand whether the scheme is beneficial to you, to calculate the cash flows that you have to a businessman has to take out. So they have ensured that you will be spending time on those things and not procedurally in filing this. So the procedure is very simple. You log in through your e-filing portal, whichever assessee has wants to settle or avail the Vivad Se Vishwas scheme. They have to log in through the e-filing portal. In that, you have to select the Vivad Se Vishwas tab. In that, you have to select prepare and submit DTVSV forms. There are two declarations. There is basically a declaration in Form 1 and undertaking in Form 2. This is just a snapshot that we have taken of the Form 1. So Form 1 is a declaration to be filed by the assessee. Form 2 is the undertaking that is to be filed by the SSC. I have just attached a screenshot so that people know what it looks like. Form 3 is the certificate. So this is a certificate, as you can see, that will be given by the designated authority, the demand or the tax payable in Form 3. So you have to fill out your basic details, and then you have to fill out your BSR code, date of deposit, challan number, etc. How we generally do it, and these will then be taken into account by them, and then they will issue you a order of full and final settlement, which will come in the form of Form 5. So Form 5 will be your final full and final settlement, and this will grant you the immunity and waiver from payment of interest and penalties as they will occur. The question is, how do you compute these taxes? So the computation is very simple. They have bifurcated it into 3 different parts. It can be a search case, it can be any case that is not a search case, and it can be a case where dispute relates only, the word only is important, to interest, penalty, or levy. So 125% of that will be disputed tax, and you have to pay that. If you have filed the declaration after 31st December 2020, so initially the government had specified 31st of March 2020 as the first date, and they had said that the scheme may be applicable for 3 more months and there will be a last date. In a case where an appeal or a writ petition or an SLP is filed by the income tax authority on any issue before the appellant forum, the amount payable shall be 1/2 of the amount. Total income as per the order is 100. Okay. Your disputed income is bifurcated into 2 parts, A and say part 1 and part 2. So part 1 is relating to issues which have been decided in favor of the assessee in his case for any assessment year, and it is not subsequently reversed by the higher authority. So what we were seeing on the last slide, we are doing it by the way of numbers here. So 60 is an income that is there, which is basically something that has not been reversed by a higher authority and which has been decided in the favor of the assessee. FAQs that have been filed by that have been given by the CBDT in this case. First one, if there is no appeal pending but the case is pending in arbitration, will the taxpayer be eligible to apply under Vivad se Vishwas? If yes, what will be the disputed taxes? Is there any necessity that to qualify under the Vivad se Vishwas, the appellant should have tax demand in arrears as on date of filing declaration? They have clarified saying that the Vivad se Vishwas can be availed by the appellant irrespective of whether tax arrears have been paid either partly or fully or are outstanding. So as I told you before, if you have paid any amount of taxes before, in that cases you will be eligible for a refund. So it is not necessary that you should have any tax amount outstanding. Even if you do not have any amount outstanding, you are still eligible to file under the Vivad se Vishwas scheme. So if taxes are paid after availing benefits of Vivad se Vishwas and then later the taxpayer decides to take refund, would it be possible? So it has been clarified that no, any amount paid in pursuance of a declaration made under Vivad se Vishwas shall not be refundable under any circumstances. So whatever is the amount that has been determined, that will be something that will be payable and no refund shall be eligible against that. Will there be immunity from prosecution? Yes, Section 6 provides for immunity from prosecution to a declarant in relation to the tax arrears for which declaration is filed under Vivad se Vishwas and whose an order has been passed by the DA that the amount payable has been paid. Whichever is a case that you have taken up in Vivad se Vishwas, only those cases will be covered and you cannot apply that to other cases. The benefit of Vivad se Vishwas be availed if a search and seizure action is filed by the IT department has been initiated against a taxpayer. So there is a clarification here that case where the tax arrears relate to an assessment made under 143(3) or 144 or 153A or 153C on the basis of a search initiated under 132 or 132A and of the Act are excluded if the amount of disputed tax exceeds 5 crore rupees in that assessment year. Is the assessment order under section 143(3) was passed in a case of an assessee for the assessment year 2015-16. The said assessment is now pending with ITAT. Subsequently, another order under 147 or 143(3) was passed for the same assessment year and that is pending with the CIT appeals. So could both or one of the orders be settled under Vivad se Vishwas? So for one specific year, you have an assessment order under 143(3), which is pending with the ITAT. There is another order under 147 or 143.3 for the same assessment here, which is pending with CIT appeals. So the department has clarified here that the appellant in this case has an option to settle either of the two appeals or both of the appeals of the same assessment year. So they have left the option on the assessee in this case, where it is up to him if he wants to settle. He has to file the correct declaration in form number 1, and the disputed tax in this case would be the aggregate in both appeals. So my disputed tax in this case will be the tax that is the total of the disputed tax in both these appeals. So let's take the first scenario where you have opted for this scheme. If you have opted, then you have to obviously calculate the tax payable if all the grounds are decided against. So whichever is the percentage that has been prescribed. So when you have opted for the scheme, 100%, 125% as applicable is something that you have to consider as your tax payable while determining your cash flow. What is your positive in this case is that you have a complete waiver of interest and penalty. So whichever was your interest and penalty that was otherwise payable if you had not opted for the scheme is now waived off. However, as we had discussed before, you have to also let go any refund, any interest on the refund under section 244A for the excess tax that you had paid. So you will get the tax amount as a refund. However, you will not get any interest on that if you avail the scheme. अगर आपको लगता है कि मेरा फॉर एग्जांपल आउटस्टैंडिंग अमाउंट 2 लाख या 3 लाख रुपए ही है, बट अगर मैं इसको आगे लेकर जाता हूं तो मुझे मेरे कंसल्टेंट्स को, मेरे लिटिगेशन कॉस्ट को बाय द वे ऑफ डिपॉजिट्स एक्सेट्रा, I have to pay an amount that is higher than 2 or 3 lakhs. So then in that case, going by a prudent mind, you would feel it is rather sensible to settle it under Vivad se Vishwas and not take that extra burden, not take the risk of this case not being decided in your favor, and also not incurring extra costs. Which scheme is beneficial, whether opting in or opting out? So that is something that is some time that you as a businessman or you as a taxpayer should devote, and you should realize what is good. Should I take the benefit of complete waiver of interest, penalty and immunity and have a good night's sleep without worrying कि इसका कब नोटिस आएगा या इसकी कब डिमांड रेज होगी या मुझे इसके लिए कब डॉक्यूमेंट्स डालने पड़ेंगे? And you have to compare that in a case where you believe that there is a good chance of winning the case. We are now done with our part. So if we have any questions that we can take, if we have enough time, or else if we do not have time, we can take those questions on an individual basis also. So Vishal can take it up from here.
और अब मैं इनवाइट करूंगा हमारे जो आज के मॉडरेटर हैं विशाल गाला जी को, कि अभी जो तमाम हमारे जो सब्जेक्ट विवाद से विश्वास तक की जो स्कीम से उसके बारे में हमारे जो कीनोट स्पीकर ने बताया, उस पे कितने लोगों के सवाल हैं, हमारे जो पार्टिसिपेट हुए वो सवाल जो हाईलाइट्स किए अपने आप सवाल लें. विशाल गाला जी, प्लीज वेलकम.
जी थैंक यू सुनील जी. सो फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन है अशोक शर्मा जी का. Can declaration be filed after 31st December 20? Is there any announcement or notification regarding same?
So they have not yet clarified. I had included this part in the presentation that generally when it was announced on 31st of March and then it was delayed to 30th June, they had said that there will be a last date after 30th June also. But however, they have not specified the last date so far. So I think probably in some time we will come to know, because we have a good 5.5 months at hand. So I think in the next 1 month or something, there will be a proper clarification that will come out. And we are expecting a last date after 31st of December also. But we shall wait for the clarification how it comes.
One question from Uma Madhyokar. Appeal is in ITAT and the case was remanded to AO for verification of claim. Will SSC be entitled to apply under this scheme?
Yes, so I read that in the chat box. So I'll request reach out to me individually. I will have to understand a bit of the specifics of the case before commenting if it will be allowed or not. So what I will do is I will share my details on the screen now. So she can reach out to me. Details on the screen. So she can reach out to me on my contact number, and then we can take it up.